in that way. What's your opinion on glycine? Not required. You can convert methionine to glycine, not a requirement. The more I actually did on homocysteine, I did a video covering this. You know, the pathways are quite clear: methionine, glycine, right through to taurine. It's all about methionine. That's a myth, complete myth, nay. Supplementing and getting more from the diet to perhaps balance methionine, that is an absolute lie. It is excrement. It's completely and utterly bullshit. I did a video on that where I ridicule our dear friend Gregor, Dr. Gregor, and his bullshit. My video absolutely tears him to pieces on, because remember, they talk about this high methionine causing, they talk about this bullshit in terms of methionine increasing homocysteine. They were actually infusing in this study, or infusing methionine and actually lowering homocysteine. Absolutely, it's garbage. They don't understand the way when you increase methionine, you actually increase the body itself produces more glycine. You don't need to balance by supplementing. It's absolute bullshit. The research does not support that postulate. So it's wrong. It's in complete error. But if you say a lie and bullshit long enough, most people start believing it. Now let me find that video, because that is a real good video. I wish more people would view it, because it's so good. Actually quite comical. I take absolutely Gregor to pieces, and I enjoy doing it and get a lot of laughs. It's a long one. It's a 1 hour and 30 minutes. So it is 90 minutes long. So it's not a short video, but it absolutely is gold. I think it's one of my best videos. It's only had 500 views. It should have had 1,000 or 2,000 views. So I'm a bit annoyed in that regard, but what do you do? And that's the video. Are vegans like Dr. Gregor right that meat increases homocysteine levels? Nope. That's the short version. Nope. Shelley goes, I've never had kombucha. That sounds vile. This actual kombucha it's a soft drink. It's actually a drink with a bit of with some probiotic in it, and one or two strains of bacteria. So I get this and a few of the others. I vary them. There's a Japanese one. It's a nice beverage. They use erythritol. Alcohol sugar is not the best thing to do, but having occasionally one or two here is not gonna break the bank or be a really bit. But that video, anybody hasn't seen that video, God, it's a bundle of laughs, an absolute bundle of laughs. And if they haven't seen my leucine one, which shows that leucine is the real, why is it asking me as a member? How funny is YouTube? Here's me, my own account, and it's actually asking me whether I want to become a member of my own account. I haven't even enabled that. How bloody stupid is that? Ugh. YouTube, what can you say? And this one here, this is leucine or insulin keto protein synthesis? And that's basically with Ray Peat and all their bullshit about, you need insulin, you need carbohydrates to actually build muscle. No, you don't. You only need leucine. In a fasted, you can be completely fasted. That is in a catabolic state where your insulin to glucagon is 0.8 to 1. Less insulin, more glucagon. And still, what I call a dirty fast, where you supplement leucine in, you can actually, without no other protein coming in to the body, you can actually, with the turnover of autophagy and as it goes in the pulsatile form, as aminos are released into the bloodstream, and then the body uses them to rebuild. With muscle protein synthesis, you can actually drive more of them, not into urine, but more of them into basically building new tissue in a fasted way, showing that it's leucine, nothing to do with insulin. You can put insulin in a fasted state. What all you do is just make yourself hypoglycemic. If you're not fat adapted, that is. But Cahill did the studies where he got them fat adapted, they're in ketosis, then drove their blood sugars down with insulin. They were still catabolic and very catabolic. Doesn't do anything, insulin. It's a signaling molecule. It's a signaling hormone. The thing that actually drives muscle protein synthesis is leucine. Always has been. So that's why people get more muscular when they consume pretty much leucine. Obviously, taurine also in animal foods helps as well, quite a bit. And this myth about glycine balance and all that, myth, it's bullshit. It's been perpetuated by some low carbers, some paleo in particular, veganerized idiots, and many others that continually perpetuate this. And it's usually the anti-meat brigade as well. And yeah, it's just crap. The more methionine you consume, the more glycine the liver will generate, synthesize. So a complete, absolutely nonsensical argument, because these people just are reductionists. They think in reductionist terms. A true biochemist is somebody who understands the interactions of complex systems and studies them in that way. But a reductionist doesn't look for mechanisms, just talks about pathways as if they are the ins and outs of everything that happens in the body. Complete and utter nonsense. If you look at lipolysis and glycolysis, you'll basically think, well, it's the fat that's actually, causing problems with the sugar to metabolize the sugar. But if you think in terms of Randall cycle, you think more holistically and understand these mechanisms, how the way they're interacting with themselves in a more holistic way, then you realize, oh, what's happening? Why are these pathways being inhibited? Coming all into, it makes, if you think logically sense, you've got these two pathways coming right into the Krebs cycle. Well, isn't one have to be impeded in order the other one to be able to drive through? Otherwise, if you can't actually go into acetyl-CoA, then you're going to be basically pushing shitloads out into lactate. So and generating very little energy from that sugar. Then it has to go somewhere. Yeah, look, but when you understand how these mechanism works and then how these receptors are blockaded, down-regulated, then it makes all sense. But if you're seeing them as simple stuff, you just don't work it. You go, oh, yeah, it's going to be excess energy. You don't realize it's because of this, excess calories, as they call it, but it's not that. It's this activation because of excess energy that actually happens. So they get completely confused.